I was always an introverted kid. I remember when I used to play football about 7, 8 years ago, and we had a whole team, a whole squad, and I played for them for years, about 7 years to be exact. And deep down, I wanted to interact with everyone, I wanted to talk with everybody, but I was too insecure and in myself to do so. So I just spoke to one kid that I knew from school all the time, or I'd have one friend on that team every time and just speak to them. And this would crush me on a deeper level, when I used to view myself as terrible, as shit, as not as good as people, and I'd always have this sense of anxiety in myself because I couldn't interact with people. And this further on went into school, where I just had my little friend group and I didn't really branch out to other friend groups or other people. I wasn't confident enough. That could partly be to do with the fact that I was a bigger kid and I was a fatter kid, so I used to get made fun of quite often back in the day, so that affected my confidence as well. And this all started to change when I hit around 18 and the COVID restrictions went and I was able to start going out. And this was when I was able to start being more of a social person, where I was interacting with people and talking to people. And that was all well and good, because that was with alcohol. And when you got alcohol, obviously you're more social, you're more yourself, you're going to talk to people and all this stuff. And that anxiety is gone. But especially when I moved house in 2022, I was able to actually build myself in a way that I was actually happy, and build my social skills to a way that I'm truly happy. To the point I got different friend groups now, and I made a lot of friends in my gym, where I was able to talk to a lot of people and build my social skills and speak with any person, speak with all different people, which was such a beautiful thing for me. And it made me feel incredible back then, because I could have never done that in the past, which is such an incredible thing when you truly think about it. Making friends out of nowhere, having conversations with people that have your interest and want to build themselves as well. How beautiful is that? Having friendships in them places and building relationships in them places. And I want to give you some tips to be more social and build your social skills truly, that have actually helped me on a deeper level to speak to people. The first tip is be interested in them. A lot of us put too much self-importance on ourselves, and this is why we have a lot of anxiety, to be honest. We are very self-conscious of ourselves. We're thinking that person's judging us, that person's looking at us, that person's looking at us in a weird way. And we put a lot of importance on ourselves that doesn't need to be put on ourselves. When you speak to a person and you speak about their interests, what they want to do, what they want to achieve, why they're in the gym, why they're working towards this, why they're out on a walk, all these different areas, you are able to actually build a connection with them and empathize with them on that level, which is such a beautiful thing. Because if I asked you a question about yourself, let's say we saw each other in public and I asked you about yourself, and I was able to unveil something that you're passionate about and had a true conversation with you about that, how would you feel? You'd feel quite good, you'd feel quite happy, because someone's asking about something that you're interested in. If you ask someone questions about themselves that they are genuinely interested in, you give them that interest in what they're passionate about and what they're happy about, that's going to change your game. And now you're going to ask, how do I get them to open up about what they're passionate about? You could ask about their hobbies. Let's give a gym example. What are you doing in the gym today? What are you working out? Are you working out for any specific purpose? Let's say a marathon, let's say a competition, whatever. Let's say they might say they're at uni. What are you studying at uni? Oh, do you want to move into that career? Do you want to move into that? What is your favorite things about it? And then you just build off of that and have a good interaction off the back of that. When you are genuinely interested in other people, they are so happy to be around you, and they're so interested. And they'll actually come back and ask you questions. Because a lot of you might say, oh, they won't ask me questions and they won't speak to me about me and it'll just be all about them. They will ask you questions. And what you want to do is you want to briefly answer them questions, open up a little bit, also put it back on them, their self, because they'll start building a better connection with you, because they're opening up to you about what they like and what they're into and their life and everything, which is such a nice thing. They're sharing their information about their life with you, which makes them like you more. The next thing is going to be body language. Too many guys have shit body language. They have terrible body language, to the point they hold themselves as almost a victim, essentially, to the point, let's say a person was walking by you and your body language is like this and all hunched over and you are not confident in yourself. Let's say you got massive headphones and you don't want to speak to people and all this. You're going to be perceived as that, and they're going to view you as unconfident. Therefore, they're not necessarily even going to really want to speak to you because of how your body language is. When I started improving my body language, every area started to improve in regards to social interaction. When I started to hold myself with respect and hold myself in a way that I actually liked myself and I respected myself, I started to change the game, and people can see that as well. People really gravitate towards you when you have better body language. If you had shit body language and you're speaking to someone, they're going to think, he looks unconfident, he don't look passionate in himself, he don't look good in himself. So they're going to view you in that light. But when you hold yourself with confidence, you have strong body language, and hold yourself with strong body language, women are going to be more into you, friendships are going to be more likely, and you're going to be in a better position. They're going to view you in a more respectful light, instead of a light that you are terrible and that you are shit. They're going to view you in a light like, oh, he holds himself with confidence, oh, he's quite confident, he's quite charismatic. That's how they're going to view you. They're going to view you completely different. The next thing is going to be build yourself up. Too many guys expect to be this confident figure when they've got nothing in their life that they're proud of. They've got nothing in their self that they're proud of. They haven't been through many struggles. They've just stayed indoors. They haven't helped themselves. They haven't put themselves through pain to build themselves. Therefore, they don't hold themselves in any confident light. They don't look at themselves in any confident light. So how do you think you're going to present yourself to someone in a positive way if you don't hold yourself in a positive light? If you haven't built yourself up to the point you're actually proud of yourself? For example, like I've done, I've built myself up to a point where I'm actually quite proud of myself in certain areas, which is such a beautiful thing. Of course, I'm not the finished article. There's a lot of areas I have to improve in. But you hold yourself in a way that is so much more better. Like, you are actually proud of yourself. Meaning these people are going to resonate with that and see that in you. And if you're around someone who's proud and happy in themselves and grateful in themselves, that's going to make the interaction way more better. They're going to feel that off of you. Because I've been around negative people, and I guarantee you've been around negative people. And they didn't hold themselves with confidence. They didn't hold themselves in a positive way, in a good way. Therefore, they perceive themselves as shit and negative, and they are kind of negative to interact with. And you feel shit on the aftermath of that. Let's say you hold yourself in a positive light. Let's say you've built yourself up into a positive person who you're grateful as. And whether that's financial, whether that's physical, whether that's spiritual, whatever, where you're holding yourself in a positive light and you're actually proud of yourself, you are going to give that reaction of them where they're going to be happy after the interaction. It works both ways, on a negative way and on a positive way. Always keep that in mind. If I hold myself in a light where I'm proud of myself, I'm happy, and I'm building a real connection where it's not really what I'm trying to take, you're making the interaction good, you are going to be in an amazing position. You're going to hold yourself way better. And they're going to feel that off the interaction. They're going to feel that off the interaction, which is very, very important. The next thing is going to be do things for them. The principle called reciprocity, if I'm saying that right, is where you do something for them and they actually view you in a much more positive light. And I've used this in areas before that I shouldn't have used it in. For example, girls that hated me and disliked me, I would do things for them and then they'll start liking me again. Because you're positive to them and you do something and you remove that stress from them and they start liking you again. But this principle is very important, especially when speaking to people and interacting with people. Let's say, for example, you open the door for them. Let's say, for example, you grab something for them. Let's say, for example, you just do something for them. Let's say they're in the gym, you lift a weight plate up for them, ask what weight you need and put it on there for them. They're going to view you in a nice light because you've done something for them. And they're going to be positive towards you. This is just a little simple hack, a little simple way that can build that social side and make people like you more, because too many people want to just explain themselves, which you got to explain yourself and show your personality a bit, but it isn't everything. People want to be worth something. They want you to view them in a way that is worth something, and they want to get stuff off their chest. You want to get stuff off your chest. You want to speak to people about your interests, what you've been through, and you want people to do stuff for you. This is a way that actually helps. You got to keep these in mind. You got to be genuinely interested in them. You got to build off their interests. You got to go for their interests, dive into their interest, and make them feel proud in themselves and happy in themselves and happy to speak to you, because they're going to associate that with you. They're going to associate the positive memories from that interaction with you. Them opening up about themselves, because they might not opened up to someone about that before or for a while. So they're going to associate that with you. And when they see you again, they're going to be in a much more positive perspective in regards to you and view you in a much more amazing way. This is how I transformed my social skills.